Howdy. What's up, BC? Rob here. Hope everybody's doing well. I just got done voting, midterm elections. You should vote. Why not? But yeah, I'm not here to talk about politics or voting. Here to talk about music. I noticed my subscribers about doubled in the last week or two, so thank you. Looks like I'll keep making videos. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's good to share. Right now I am listening to Mahavishnu Orchestra. This one is the Inner Mounting Flame. Really good album. McLaughlin shreds. He shreds, man. Billy Cobham on the drums. Really cool album. And a fusion jazz, I guess. A little. Actually, it's pretty kind of progressive rock thing going on too on this one. But, anyways, I just got this in the mail. This Heat. The album is Deceit. I learned about This Heat. I've always seen them on like best of lists from 1980 or 81 or whatever. And so I finally listened to this earlier this year. But this is crazy awesome music. I just got this in the mail. Very experimental. Kind of avant-garde, post-punk rock music, I guess. Pretty out there. This fucking thing is crazy. Really pretty dark music. A little weirder, well, quite a bit weirder than contemporaries of theirs, Wire and stuff like that. So yeah, this is really good music though. Very experimental. This Heat. I got Light in the Attic. This is a 2016 reissue. So they do a good job. Light in the Attic. I went down with a friend to the Hudson River Valley this weekend, just for a quick something to do. Stayed a couple nights down there, and it was absolutely beautiful. The foliage was beautiful. Such a pretty place. But of course, we were in a little kind of tourist town, and I saw a record store there, so I of course went in. It's kind of like my siren song. I can't help it. If I see records, they are going to get looked at by me. But I grabbed two records at this store. First one, Brian Eno, Before and After Science, 1977. This is an original press, basically in mint condition. There's a little bit of bending there, but the record itself is in mint condition, and he had a super reasonable price on this, and the other one I bought as well. Usually when I grab records, I'll put them in my Discogs, into the database under my collection, but and I got this cheaper than I could have off Discogs. Anyways, this is one of his kind of renowned albums. Really cool lineup on this. Phil Collins is on here. Also, the drummer from Can is on here. The guy from Cluster is on here. Robert Fripp. Really impressive lineup. And I really like the first side more than the second side. Though I do like the second side. It's just a lot mellower, more kind of, it's just a mellower. The first side is kind of the more artsy, art rock kind of weird stuff you're used to from Eno. So yeah, super happy to have this. Beautiful, beautiful copy. Next thing I grabbed down there, the Specials' first album. Of course, classic ska. This is what they call the second wave of ska. The first, of course, being out of Jamaica, but guys, groups like this and Madness, it's kind of second wave ska, and then they went on to influence groups like No Doubt, maybe Sublime, Real Big Fish. Mighty Boss Tones, whatever. The ska music, kind of got pretty popular in the 90s. But anyways, yeah, fantastic stuff. Again, basically, this is mint condition, and he had this super reasonably priced. It was like $10 or something. I do just want to kind of talk about music for a second and show a couple things I've been playing. Over the weekend, over some drinks, my friend and I were discussing a song off this album, White Lines. I haven't listened to this in a while, but the song White Lines we did listen to, and we discussed that song sampled the bass line to Liquid Liquid. I think, what's the song called? Cavern, maybe? I forget. I don't have the Liquid Liquid album to show, but what a fantastic song. I believe it's called Cavern by Liquid Liquid. I wish I had it. I'll grab it sometime, but yeah, this sampled that song, and I'll see if I can put a link to the song on my down here. So, but yeah, one thing we listened to on our ride home yesterday, obviously in my car, we didn't listen to the record, but we listened to it digitally. Neil Young, After the Gold Rush. Great album, classic era kind of Neil Young. Basically anything Neil Young touched in the 70s turned to gold. This is no exception. Arguably, you could argue this is his best album. I don't know. I like a lot of his albums, but yeah, great stuff here. My cat is bothering me here. Go on. Another group that I never see talked about on the VC, and in just regular life, they get a lot of shit, and they get a lot of there's a lot of haters for Phish. It's whatever. I can understand. Some people, they're a very goofy band, and some people don't want to hear 20 minutes long songs of improvisation. Come on, get out of here. But I'm going to stick up for Phish. They're one of my favorite bands. I've seen them many times live. Yeah, that's a probably kind of unpopular opinion on the VC, but too bad. Don't care. This is the Sick It disc. I listened to this recently. It's pretty cool. You might like this if you're not normally into Phish. This is instrumental. There's no vocals on this really, and yeah, it's kind of a studio experimentation, experimental kind of studio release, but really good stuff. This is the band Brand New. This is Science Fiction. This came out last year, and this has been on rotation for me since. Really good rock band. They came out, I don't know, 15 or 20 years ago as a kind of what you'd call like emo or pop punk. Their first album or two, but they improved, in my opinion, immensely as a band. They matured a lot. So it's kind of a bummer they broke up, but they did leave me a really good album. last album. I love this thing. Brand new science fiction. And to stay on the kind of rock thing I got going on here, I'm going to show a CD. I think this is the first CD I've shown on YouTube, but the singles soundtrack. I don't have this on vinyl. I would love to, but really great compilation here. Yeah, Singles was a movie, early 90s, you know, took place in Washington, or excuse me, in Seattle during the grunge era. It's a song, you know, it's a movie about the culture at the time, falling in love and music. A lot of famous musicians are in the movie, but the soundtrack is really, really phenomenal. Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Mudhoney, Smashing Pumpkins, Screaming Trees, Jimi Hendrix. Actually, now that I think about it, it's funny, Nirvana is actually not on this, but it doesn't really matter. This is really, really excellent album. Yeah, Drown is my favorite Smashing Pumpkins song, I think. State of Love and Trust by Pearl Jam, Breath by Pearl Jam, Chloe Dancer, Crown of Thorns by Mother Love Bone. Like, these are just incredible songs. Paul Westerberg, awesome. I love this album, but yeah, I took this out because I played this recently and I was discussing it with a friend of mine, particularly the song Drown by the Smashing Pumpkins. I was telling him I think that's probably my favorite Smashing Pumpkins song. I'm not a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, actually. I like their first couple albums, I guess. Up until, you know, right around Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, which I think is kind of... It's a good album. It's a little bloated, though. Excuse me. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Like I said, I think I doubled my subscribers in the last couple weeks, so that's fun. That's cool. I'm going to keep posting videos, and I hope you all do the same. Until next time, thank you. Thanks for watching. Keep it real. Headlong into sound. Bye-bye.